Hey y'all, it's your girl Jazz, and we are back for Sisters Season 7, and this is episode, let me check, this is episode 14, and it's titled All for the D. Very telling, might I say. Before I get into the episode review, I want to talk about the reason why I think it's called All for the D. Well, no, I'm going to get to that. Okay, so it picks up where it left off last episode, and it left off with Gary basically. Have y'all noticed that I hop on these reviews laughing every time? Y'all think I'm goofy? Anyway, so Gary basically catches Jordan following him. Now, Jordan, if you're going to follow somebody, I am going to need you to look the part. You don't have on no all black. You just got on your white t-shirt. You don't lock your doors. You didn't take no witnesses with you. You don't have no partner in crime. You don't have no weapons. You got your doors unlocked. Okay? You stick out like a sore thumb with your light skin. You don't have no poochies. Don't ask me how I know all this stuff. But anyway, so Gary catches up to him, and basically he like he always does, like the master manipulator that Gary is, and throws it back on Andy. And he basically manipulates Jordan into thinking that Andy is the one behind all of this, and basically tells Jordan, this review is probably going to be short because it wasn't a whole lot that happened this episode. But he basically tells Jordan, instead of you worrying about me, you need to worry about Andy, because Andy was the one who knew where Penelope was. Andy was the one who had the last conversation with Penelope. Penelope told Andy about all the hot positions I put her in and stuff like that. And Andy gets into a jealous rage, and she the last one who saw Penelope. So you need to talk to Andy. And if I find out that you following me again, you the one who gonna come up. You the one who gonna come up, Miss. Here's what I don't understand. So Gary, you put the idea in Jordan's head that Andy is the one behind Penelope's disappearance, but then you slip up and say, if I find out that you following me again, you the one who gonna come up missing next. You idiot. Oh my God. Oh. So I don't know if I want to blame that on just a writing error, or if I want to blame that just on Gary not thinking through. But anyway, that happened. Next morning, it cuts to next morning. Jordan, y'all, I put this on my Twitter. Jordan was stretching, right? Jordan. Y'all, I put this on my Twitter. I said, child, Jordan was listening to Sexy Red when he was stretching. Because, child, anyway, honey. So Andy comes down the stairs, and Andy was like, Jordan, are you okay? And he was like, I need to find my sister. And why didn't you tell me that you was the last one who talked to her? And she was like, look, I was trying to process it, and I was trying to piece it together, and I wanted to find her and all of this stuff before I told you. So that happened. It honestly really wasn't much there. So then it cuts to Karen's salon. This review really is going to be short. Well, as far as me going, pretty much telling y'all what happened on the episode, because the rest of it is going to be probably going to be me venting. But anyway, then it goes to Karen. Karen comes to the salon. Now, y'all, I don't know if this is Karen's black dress, if this is considered this same black dress that she been wearing on every single episode. Y'all put in the comments, is that Karen's uniform, or is that the only black dress that she owns? Because what is going on? What is going on? Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I want to say it cuts there. It cuts there. And she talks to Pam. They talk or whatever. Aaron shows y'all. Aaron shows up and he comes bearing freaking gifts. And y'all, it makes me laugh every time Aaron shows up. And the reason why it makes me laugh every time Aaron shows up is because when I tell y'all, Karen cannot stand the sight of freaking Aaron. Because it went from, I don't need you, Zach. I don't need nothing from you. I don't need your money. I'll take care of, I don't need you. I don't need you, Zach. I've always had my own money. Then I have Aaron, and he's willing to step up. He's willing to step up, even though he knows this ain't his baby. It went from that, and now she's literally living in it. And now she can't even stand the sight of him. Aaron walked in. She didn't even say hi to this man, y'all. And now that Aaron is back, now that she's had to call this man and tell this man that he that he is one of the fathers. And y'all, I'm not laughing at this woman pain. I never laugh. I do not wish ill on women. Okay. I don't like how they are doing this. I don't. But the fact that she has had to call this man, the fact that she did all that talking to Zach and Fatima, and she done had to call, and she done told Zach, she done from season 1 all the way up until now, she done threw Aaron in Zach's face, and now she has to live in it, and she doesn't want to. It's crazy to me. That is freaking crazy to me. So anyway, Aaron pulls up with gifts, okay, galore of gifts, and Karen is like, oh, she's like, oh my God. So anyway, Aaron pulls up with gifts. He comes bearing gifts or whatever, and Pam speaks. Karen doesn't speak, and so Aaron is like, I come bearing gifts, and Karen and Pam is like, oh, did you come to talk about, did you come bring me the check or, whatever? Because Pam is like, I don't care what y'all got going on. Because, they are investors or whatever. And so she was like, yeah, and Aaron is like, I have my people call you about that. It may be some money missing, but I have my people call you about that. But I came to bring some gifts for the baby, because Karen doesn't want people to know that he's one of the baby fathers. These writers did not think this one through. They did not think this one through. And let me pause before I keep going. I understand that this is a drama, but because I'm the type of person that I'm a fan of the show. I'm not a fan of the characters. I'm a fan of the show. And because I intently watch the show, how is Karen going to explain this? Explain this. How is she going to explain this? Anyway. So he was like, oh, I bought you gifts. I got some booties. I got some booties for the baby. They're all unisex. I got some booties. I got some onesies. I got some socks, and I got some hats for the baby to go. She said, can we go in the back and talk? Oh my gosh. Normally, women would be happy when they baby daddy do stuff for the kids, for their child. Not Karen. She is mad that Aaron is stepping up. I have Aaron who's willing to step up. Nope, not this time. Can we go somewhere in the back and talk? So they go in her office, right? They go in her office, and he's like, look, I'm excited, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm here for you. I'm here, I'm here through it with you all the way. And then he goes, I thought you would have been done told everybody by now. She's like, I will when I'm ready, which, to be fair, that is fair. It is her business to tell, which I'm going to get there. And I'm also give my opinions on that because people have been asking me, people have been DMing me about that. But she goes, why did you bring this here? Why did you bring it here? And he was like, you know what? I thought you'd been untold everybody by now. Which, to be fair, it's not Aaron's fault that Karen has not told people yet. That's not Aaron's fault. Aaron got news a few days ago that he is going to be a father after not knowing nothing. Which, let's be real, she need to be glad that he ain't got smoke for, because he really could have smoke for and would be well within his rights. Now, I side-eye Aaron now. Sometimes I be side-eyeing him. But she need to be happy that he don't have smoke for her, because he as a man and as a father to one of those babies could have smoke for Karen and would be well within his rights to have smoke for Karen. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying? He could have smoke for Karen and would be well within his rights too. She better be glad that he didn't take his behind to that hospital where she got them results from and ask questions. She better be glad that he didn't go to that hospital. Hi, I'm Aaron Carter. I just got news that Karen might receive DNA results, and I'm one of the fathers to one of those babies. I like to see the results for myself. I like to know who she talked to. When was these results done? Okay. Is there possible to get another result done? What's the procedure? It's two babies in there. She better be glad that he didn't start asking questions. She better be glad that he didn't go above her head and start asking questions, because he could have done that and would have been well within his rights to do so. Because if we go back in season 6, I want to say, he told her that he got ocular proof that he was the father from a medical source from the hospital, that he was the father. Writers, if y'all are watching my video, please look and please go back to season 6 and watch. Aaron said that he got medical proof from a doctor that he was the father. Karen didn't get mad. Karen didn't say that Aaron was lying or nothing. You know what Karen said? I'm gonna have to call them, because here's one thing that we can't take away from Aaron. And as a fan of the show, now I may not always like Aaron. I think that Aaron, I may not always like Aaron. I think that Aaron is pushy. I think that Aaron needs all this energy and stuff that he's putting into Karen and one of his children, which he's well within his rights to do so. But I also think that he needs to right some wrongs with the other children that he raised for 15 years too. I think that there are some things there that he needs to do as well. But I side-eye Aaron now. But one thing I do not take away from Aaron is Karen can't run him like she be trying to do Zach. And Karen knows that she can't. She knows she can't run Aaron. She knows she can't run Aaron. She knows she can't walk all over Aaron. When Aaron step up for real, she knows she can't run him. When Aaron get to asking questions for real, she knows she can't run him. And that's the main reason why she don't be wanting Aaron around, because she know when Aaron get to asking questions, he gonna get to the bottom of stuff, and she don't like that. because she can't control the narrative. She cannot control the narrative with Aaron, and she knows that. When Aaron is around, she knows that she can't control the narrative with him. When he get to asking questions, she knows that he'll get to the bottom of it for real, because Aaron has the means, Aaron has the money, Aaron has the resources. He has the connections. Let's also remember, and I say this all the time, Aaron is friends with Gary. Great friends with Gary. And y'all take that however y'all want to take it. But anyway, back to the show. So he goes, I'm just excited or whatever. And he goes, I bought you all these things. She was like, why you didn't take it to the house? Why did you bring it here? He was like, I thought you would have been told everybody by now. He was like, I also got us a childbirth education class. She was like, why? Oh God. He said, because you've never had a baby before. This is your first time giving birth, and we both need to be informed. This is when Aaron gained 10 cool points with me, because I am a childbirth educator, because I am a doula, because I am a lactation consultant, because I am certified in these things. I said, yes, Aaron, yes. Freaking yes. Yes. Because this black man is trying to make sure that he is informed. And he's trying to make sure that the mother of his child is informed. And then Karen freaking shuts it down, talking about some why. And then she said, and then he goes, because you've never had a baby before, because this is your first time giving birth. So you need to know how to breathe. You need to know the right way to breastfeed. You need to be educated on these things. Then she goes, ain't that what Google is for? Karen, sweetheart. And don't y'all get in these comments. Not y'all, but please, people, I don't want nobody, please, not to get in these comments talking about she is stressed. You are not too stressed to get informed at all, because Google do not tell you everything. Google does not say everything. Now, you can Google some stuff, but you better make sure that it is cited correctly. Okay? Karen, you really talking about you about to hey Google a pregnancy the whole time, the whole way through. You about to hey Alexa, tell me. No, but seriously, I think that shout out to the writers and shout out to the women in the writers' room for putting this out there, because let me get serious really quickly. Okay. Karen is a 36-year-old woman, which means that medically, quote unquote, and technically, quote unquote, the medical team is going to try to they're going to say that she has a geriatric pregnancy. And that actually was mentioned in season 1. Okay, that's first of all. Second of all, she's a black woman. Karen, baby. And I'm also going, not just Karen, but in real life, not just on the show. Okay? Black women are more likely to die in hospital rooms than any other race in the country. And that is not a Jasmine fact. That is a fact. You can fact check me on Google. You can fact check me on the CDC website. You can fact check me on any site. You can cite me. You can fact check me. I did not make that up. So yes, we as a culture need to be informed. And yes, you need to, if you are pregnant and you are listening to this, make sure that you have people with you that trust you to trust your body. Inform yourself. Interview these hospitals. Interview these doctors. And if you don't feel safe, get somewhere with a team that makes you feel safe. I don't care if your mama, sister, auntie, friend went to the same doctor for 10 years. And oh, well, my mom went to him, I'm just gonna go to him too. All doctors are not created equal. And there is no such thing as too much education. Educate yourself. Immerse yourself in as much education as possible. So yes, the fact that Aaron took it upon himself to schedule him and his baby mom a childbirth education class does not go unnoticed with me. As an educator herself, and as a fan of the show, and as a black woman. As a black woman who has miscarried more than once. As a black woman who has helped 12 families deliver and advocate for themselves. As a black woman who has seen doctors be one way with black families and another way with other families who are not black. Yes. Shout out to the writers. So writers, if y'all are watching this, thank you for that. Shout out to Ebony Obsidian and shout out to Kevin. I forget his last name. Y'all killed that part. Thank y'all. So I love that moment. Sorry y'all. I got a little bit emotional because childbirth, education, and lactation is something that's near and dear to my heart. So I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. And if you are pregnant and if you are watching, please inform yourself. Please educate yourself. Interview these hospitals. And you do that honestly by just scheduling an interview. Read over the consent forms, because it is not consent if the doctors make you afraid to say no, or the nurses or anybody for that matter. It's not consent if you're scared to say no at all. Ask questions. What's the benefits? What's the risks? Do I have more time? And trust your gut. If your gut is screaming at you to do something different, do something different. I don't know why Holy Spirit is leading me to say these things right now, but I'm saying them. Anyway, back to the show. Maurice and Sabrina had a moment. And of course, at the bank, Sabrina was telling Maurice all of Karen's business. And if I'm honest, I did not like that part. And the reason I did not like that part is because all of season 7, Sabrina has been telling Maurice all of Karen's business. And Sabrina never gets smoked for that. What we are seeing is a woman who sneakily tells her homeboy all of Karen's business. And what it looks like is just because Maurice is a gay man, and just because, it's the whole quote unquote culture of, girl, who I'm gonna tell? You know what I'm saying? Just because it's that, nobody bats an eye. No, it's still wrong. It's still wrong. Or just because Karen doesn't know about it, to me it's still wrong. And if I'm honest, to me it's worse than what Danni is doing. It's worse. Or because it's Sabrina. To me, that's worse. That's worse. I don't like it. Yeah, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I don't like the fact that, I personally do not like the fact that Sabrina is messily telling Maurice all of Karen's business. And this isn't the first time. Earlier in season 7, we saw that Sabrina had told Maurice about Karen being at the clinic. Then we also saw that Sabrina had told Tony and Rich about the fact that Karen had found out that she was having twins. She don't know these dudes like that. She don't know them. What do they need to know for? Then now we see that now Maurice knows that Karen has twins by 2 different guys. After Danni told her, which Danni wasn't supposed to tell her, but still Danni told her. And then Sabrina tells Maurice. She was wrong for that. Not only was Danni wrong for telling her in the first place, Sabrina now goes and tells Maurice. So that's also wrong. Let's see what else happened. Tony tries to make up with Danni. Danni not hearing it. Wasn't really much there. Let's see what else big happened in this episode. Fatima is in her office and she's trying to censor herself. She's trying to censor herself before she looks at her grade. Andy comes in. They have a really nice moment. And the reason I love that moment is because we always see Fatima trying to be Andy's rock, right? We always see that. We always see Fatima trying to affirm Andy. But in this moment, we saw Andy affirming Fatima. And another thing I've noticed that we don't see Karen and Andy much anymore. I've noticed it. And honestly, if I'm honest, we honestly don't really see Fatima with Andy anymore. If it don't really have much to do with work, we don't really see them together, a whole lot. Now Fatima go ride out for Andy, but as far as I'm noticing, I'm noticing they kind of pulling back a whole lot. I've actually said this to my homegirls. I'm noticing that life is kind of lifing for everybody, which happens, and I'm so glad that the writers are showing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, hey, look, we hang out when we hang out, but shoot, right now life is kind of lifing for everybody. So we got our stuff. We all got our stuff going on. When we get together, we get together. But when we don't, child, I'll talk to you when I talk to you. And I think that's what's happening with everybody. So from seasons 1 through 6, it honestly was kind of everybody hanging out all the time, all the time. And honestly, when they did, it was all about Karen. It was all about Karen and her drama. Or Andy, or Andy and her drama. And Karen would try to find a way to make it about her. Now it's not like that no more. It's not like that. It's not like that no more. And honestly, I love to see it. I love to see, everybody kind of branching off and finding themselves. You know what I'm saying? I like that. So anyway, I love the fact that Andy was like, look, sis, you got this. You're going to do good. You're going to be fine. You always land on your feet. You Fatima. You big Tima. She kind of, she affirmed her, She would, I loved it. I love to see it. So Fatima looked at her grade. It was a D with a message from her professor and said, I expected more from you, Fatima. And this is what I wanted to talk about. The name of the episode was The Big D or something like that. Let me check. Hold on, y'all. Look. I think it was The Big D. All for the D. Yep, something like that. Yeah, it was called All for the D, right? Okay, so let me explain why I believe it was called that. So, of course, it was symbolic for the fact that Fatima's first grade in law school was a D. But I believe that it symbolizes the fact that the women are doing all of the things that the women are doing for the D word, right? And what it cost them. You got Karen on one side of Atlanta who slept with 2 men for the D, and then she got 2 kids. That sounds so weird every single time I say it, right? You got Danni on one end who is you got Danni on one end of Atlanta who is dating a man with 2 kids, And she don't even know if she like kids, but she's pushing through. She's in therapy for it, which I'm gonna get to that in a minute. She, well, not for that, but she's in therapy and she's trying to press through that. She's trying to press through her emotions, her feelings and stuff. Not necessarily for Tony, but for herself, and she's trying to debate if she even wants to continue on with the relationship. Then you got Sabrina. She wants kids, but she's in a relationship with a man who doesn't want kids. But the D is good, and she's still in the relationship. Then you got Fatima. Fatima is in law school currently, and she's also in a relationship with Zach, and she is a bonus mom to his 3-year-old son, and they all, they have all their drama and stuff going on, and Fatima has all these different hats, and she wants to take some of them down. She wants to let some of these hats go, but she also loves Zach and the D, and she doesn't know what to do, and she knows that she needs to do something. Because she knows that she can't keep doing. She knows that what they're currently doing is not working. So yeah. The title of this episode is extremely fitting. Extremely fitting. And her dream is to be a lawyer. But right now, she's failing at that. She's failing at being a lawyer right now. And you can tell that her professor saying, "I expected more from you, Fatima," that was very, very telling. To me, it was in more ways than one. In more ways than one. And she wants to be there for everybody, and nobody's being there for her. Nobody's being there for her. So that happened. Let me see what else happened in the episode. So, how Karen found out that all the girls know. Sabrina and Karen was having a conversation, and I noticed something there. Sabrina and Karen was having a conversation. Karen called Sabrina, and they were talking, and Karen was like, how's it coming with your how's it coming and stuff with your, IVF treatments and stuff. She was like, oh yeah. And Sabrina was like, oh yeah, girl, my hormones and stuff is all over the place. And she was like, and Karen was like, oh yeah, girl, wait till you really get pregnant. You're going to be coming and going. You're going to be crying and stuff. Then you don't know why you're crying and stuff. And then Sabrina was like, oh yeah, girl. And then not to mention you got 2 baby daddies. She let it slip out. She let it slip. And then Karen was like, wait, hold on. What did you say? She said, Sabrina dumb tail gonna say, oh, the phone broke up. And then Karen was like, no, it didn't. You said something about 2 baby daddies. Oh, that doggone Danni. And then, one thing I don't like about Sabrina does things like this, and then, like Karen says, minimizes it. This is why I will always stand by the fact that Sabrina is the most messiest and the most toxic one. If I'm going to call somebody messy, the most messiest one, I'm going to always say that Sabrina is the one that is the most messiest one. Because she does stuff just like this. And then she acts like it ain't no big deal. And then act like she the victim when she get caught. Because she did that and then gonna tell Karen to go easy on. Then did that and then she's gonna tell Karen to go easy on Danni. Now, let me say this. Karen does her stuff. She's definitely judgmental. She definitely is mean. I'll stand by the fact that she's mean-spirited and all of these things. Okay. And I've maintained that since season 1. Because when I first saw her in season 1, I'm like, good Lord, child, why are you so mean? The Lord ain't did nothing for you yet. Golly. Lord. Girl, if you don't smile, why are you so mad? Just every day? You wake up mad at bacon? Jesus Christ. Smile today, please. Lord, lift your hands and say yes. Oh. But anywho. Anyway. However, Karen, and I'm probably going to get some people in the comments that disagree, and that's fine. This is what healthy dialogue is for. We're not going to always agree, which is cool. But keep it respectful, my G. Keep it respectful, okay? Anywho, Karen asked Danni, not to say anything. And because she asked Danni not to say anything, Danni should have obliged. She should have listened. The same way. I think all the ladies should oblige. Because if I ask my friend, hey, don't say nothing to nobody, I expect my friend to listen to me. I expect my friend to honor it. If I tell anybody, hey, I'm telling you this. I ain't told nobody else this, but I'm trusting you with this. I expect you to listen to me. Now, granted, all of the sisters do it. And guess what? All of the sisters are messy when they do it. Every last one of them. And they're wrong when they do it. So, Karen goes over to Danni's house and look, I know you told Sabrina. Why would you tell her this? And she was like, she's a close friend and we was all gonna find out. Basically, she told Karen was like, look, I asked you not to say anything and you did it anyway, and I don't like that. Danni was real dismissive. She was very, very dismissive with it. And she was like, it's not a big deal. This is something real stupid to be mad about, basically. And I did not like that. I personally did not like that. And the thing is, I've been in situations before. I've been Karen in this particular situation before, where I personally have said to people, hey, I've said to people before, hey, you did this, and that to me. I didn't like that you did this to me. Oh, Jazz. Don't be a brat. Oh, that's nothing. The same way when I've said in my video before, when I said that Karen, that the girls basically didn't when I said before that the girls didn't basically honor Karen's feelings, when Karen basically said, hey, y'all are not honoring my feelings when I'm telling y'all I'm not comfortable with y'all hanging out with Fatima. And they're like, oh, Karen, oh, that's nothing. Oh, Karen, don't be a brat. Stop being dramatic, and they're doing it anyway. This is pretty much the same thing. This is the same thing, So the same way I said that Karen then, Karen pretty much needs to decide if she wants to still hang out with them. You know what I'm saying? And Danni also needs to decide if she, basically, long story short, these girls just need to decide if they even want to be friends anymore, because all of these girls are basically crossing each other's boundaries, overstepping each other. They keep overstepping each other's boundaries because they think it's okay. They have taught each other how to treat each other. You know what I'm saying? And that happens. That happens, especially when you've been friends or you've been in a relationship, or you've been in commune, in partnership with people for so long. You teach people how to treat you, and then they get comfortable. You get comfortable with people, So basically, Karen was like, now here's the flip side, because y'all know I do my best to be fair. So here's the flip side to that conversation. Karen says to Danni, I don't know what has happened with you, but our friendship has changed. And I think our friendship has changed because you've changed. Now, here's the thing with that. And she also said to Danni, then you tell Zach that he needs to get a DNA test. Now, Now. I maintain that Danni was wrong for telling Karen's business after she told Danni not to. Danni was wrong for that. I maintain that. I'll always maintain that, because when somebody tell you not to do something, when they tell you not to cross their boundary, you don't do it. However, Karen can't. It's unfair for Karen to just say that Danni has changed when Karen has too. Especially, they've been friends since college. I am pretty sure Danni is not the only person that has changed. This is where the quote unquote snobness and turning your nose up and stuff, it comes in it, because this is where accountability comes in it. Because if you're gonna make a statement, our friendship has changed because you've changed. Friendship is a two-way street. Danni not the only person in the friendship. Karen is too. Okay. Secondly, as far as the DNA test goes, Karen is acting as if she didn't know that it was a possibility that Aaron was going. Karen, sweetie, it's always been a possibility that Aaron was the father. You knew that. You've always known that. Here's the thing. Now, and again, writers, if y'all are watching, please take notes. Because one thing about me, I watch this show, baby. But anywho, when Karen first found out, and y'all go back, and if you're watching my review, go back and watch. Okay. Go back and watch. In season 4, when that doctor said, congratulations, Karen, you are pregnant. Before that, she was happy about the pregnancy. Happy, go lucky, happy, joy, all of that. She was telling everybody who would listen. Zach is the father. Obviously, Zach is the daddy. Aaron, I'm sorry, okay? This is not your baby, okay? Because y'all remember, Aaron is the one who took her to the doctor. Okay? Aaron took her to the doctor. That doctor said, congratulations, you are pregnant. Karen smiled, lit up the whole room. You hear me? Okay? That doctor said, I'm surprised you picked it up this quick. That smile faded. She said, I'm sorry, what? That doctor said, yeah. And then Karen said, I'm sorry, can you please step out real quick? Kicked Aaron out. Now y'all go with me if you will. Okay? Kicked Aaron out. Proceeds to say, okay, now what were you saying? You said 4 weeks? Doctor said, yes, you're barely 4 weeks pregnant. Karen says, how long does it take to get pregnant? Doctor said, takes 6 eggs for the all of that stuff. The 6 day carry the one, Pythagorean theorem, all of that stuff. That thing, right? And then left out. And Karen's anxiety and all of that stuff started right then. She ain't smiled since. And then she told Aaron, according to the timeline, it could be you or it could be Zach's. Then she started being mean to Aaron right then. Right then she started being mean to him. Now she may have had moments where she tolerated him. But she started being mean to him right then. She told him, I'm sorry all this happened. I'm sorry I met you. I wish I never met you. She called Thomas him and everything. She did all of that. Okay. Then she drove to Andy's job. Because that's when Zach got arrested. She saw him getting arrested and everything. And Zach said, "Oh, F." Because mind y'all, because if y'all remember, Zach didn't even want to see. Zach wasn't talking to Karen. He rolled his eyes at her and everything every time he saw her. He didn't want to see her. The same stuff that she's doing to Aaron now, Zach was doing to her then. He didn't want to see her, kick it with her, skate with her, nothing. Okay? So, but anyway, that same day that she found out about being barely 4 weeks pregnant, she told Andy, she said, "I don't know who the father of this child is." According to the timeline, it could be Zach's or it could be Aaron's. The next day, very next day, y'all don't even have to believe me. Y'all can go back and watch these episodes for yourself. The very next day, they did an intervention for Karen at Karen's shop. Because Danni, and another reason why Karen be getting mad at Danni is because Danni pick up on stuff. If you leave Danni alone long enough, Danni will pick up on stuff. Danni and Sabrina picked it up. And Danni and Sabrina both was like, well, according to the math, it's either Zach's or Aaron's. So her homegirls figured it out. Now that same night, Karen goes and sit outside Zach's house. Sit outside the house and wait and watch and lurk. So you live in my house, and she did all that stuff on his lawn. We need to talk about first she was all sweet and stuff. Can I come in? You ain't been returning my calls, and all and all of that stuff. And then when he was like, well, no, you can't come in, but we can talk outside. And then she switched to, so you live in my house for 3 years. Y'all know all of that stuff, that scene. But then Karen has never ever said to Zach that it's a possibility. That it's a possibility that you and Aaron can be the father. This is where I'm going with it. Because I'm telling y'all all of this to tie it into where we are now. She never once said to Zach, it's a possibility that you and Aaron are the fathers. She has always maintained to him that he was the father. Her homegirls and her mom knew, and Pam knew, that either Aaron or Zach was the father. She has always maintained to Zach and Fatima that Zach was the father. Now, of course, Zach did tell Fatima that, look, she was with me and the preacher around the same time, but her and the preacher ain't been together that long, so she say it's mine. Now Fatima ain't stupid, so Fatima has let Karen know that she knows that she done been with somebody else other than Zach. But Zach, on the other hand, his mama is Gladys. But anyway, so tie it into, let me let y'all know how I'm tying it into the scene with Danni. Karen got upset with Danni, talking about, you talked him into getting a DNA test. If Danni never talked Zach into getting a DNA test, Karen never would have got one. Karen would have allowed Zach to take care of the twins as if they were his twins. and never would have got a DNA test. And her homegirls would have let that happen. So Karen would have continued with a whole lie and allowed Zach to believe that the twins were his. So when I say stuff like Karen be lying and people be saying to me, no, she don't. Yes, she does. This is proof of it, because she is upset. She is upset with Danni. So yes, while she has every right to be upset with Danni, that Danni did not tell. She has every right to be upset with Danni, that Danni told something that she told her not to say. But as far as the DNA testing goes, and her being upset about that, nah. Because if Karen is my homegirl, my comeback would have been, so you was really gonna let Zach believe that the twins was his, and you wasn't gonna get a DNA test. You wasn't gonna get a DNA test. I honestly couldn't be friends with somebody that would do that, because that's malicious. Because that is malicious. And to even go into that, these are so you playing with children's lives, you playing with Zach's life. Not to mention, you got Aaron out the way, and you were going to allow Aaron to go. This is 18 years with Aaron not even. You would have allowed Aaron to go without even knowing if twins was his or not, and you would have been okay with that. All for Zach to believe that the twins were his. All to ruin his life. All to ruin Fatima's life. You know how wicked that is? Yo, let me know what y'all think in the comments about that. Cause that right there is beyond. Child. Okay, so that was that. So Karen leaves, and she basically makes the comment saying that stay out, basically telling Danni to stay out her business and stuff like that. And Danni goes, well, we may not be, we in the same circle. Karen goes, not for long. So I'm wondering if that foreshadows if it's about to be a split in the circle, because later on, Karen invites Pam and Sabrina over to her shop to talk to them about planning the baby shower. And I noticed that Andy wasn't there, and I noticed that Danni wasn't there. I'm wondering if Karen finna start her own friendship with just Sabrina and Pam. Now, let me say something about that, because I maintain the fact that y'all think, not y'all, but some people think, oh, Sabrina is sweet and all of this, which, yeah, she can be. But let me also say this. You think Karen is the no new friends chick. Sabrina is the one that's the no new friends chick now. Because Sabrina wanted to jump across that table. Go back and look at season 2. When they first met Fatima. When Fatima first pulled up at the table, Sabrina gave dirty looks across their room to Fatima. When she first spoke to everybody. Y'all know each other. And then when Andy was like, Fatima, I want to give a shout out to Fatima, girl, you been my ride or die. Sabrina gave dirty looks at that. Sabrina is the one who really don't like them girls having new friends. Also, did y'all see, y'all put in the comments if I ain't tripping about this. Did y'all see did y'all see that Sabrina was in her feelings about the fact that Pam knew about the twins? And she called Karen out on that. What Karen, how does Pam know about the twins and you ain't told us yet? She was in her feelings about that. And she started throwing shade. And Sabrina actually low-key started throwing shade at Pam. When Karen was like, I don't want no drama in my shower. And Pam said, hold on, what y'all looking at me for with all the drama y'all got? Now Pam was right about that. Sabrina, speaking of Sabrina and Rich was doing what they do. Now let me say this. Sabrina is doing all these treatments, and I think she's trying to trap Rich up. And if she is doing that after he has told her that he does not want kids, I told y'all that girl was sneaky. Because after they got done doing what they was doing, he was searching around for the protection, quote unquote. And it was on the ground somewhere. That is all I got for the episode. It ended with Jordan catching that sneaky white boy trying to bug his place. But that is pretty much all that I have. I saw a clip next week of the trailer. I saw the trailer breakdown next week I saw a clip next week of the trailer breakdown. Well, no, I haven't done the trailer breakdown. I'm gonna try to get that done this week. This weekend. I saw the clip next week of Danni asking Zach for advice. But yeah, that was the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comments so we can chat about it. And I look forward to chatting it up with y'all. I love y'all in real life. I am thinking about starting to review Power, but I don't want to overdo myself. But anywho, I love y'all in real life and in real time. And that is it. That is all. Wait a minute, y'all. I missed something. I forgot to talk about this Hayden, Tamara, and Gary stuff, child. So, while Fatima and Andy was talking and Andy was affirming her, Hayden comes in and interrupts. Fatima was about to hit him upside the head with a stapler, and he calls his wife, right? Come to find out, child, she was sitting in his house, in their house with Gary. While she was on phone, he was like, "Hey man, wrap this issue up," real loud where Hayden can hear it. And so Hayden goes, "Hey man, who was that?" And you could tell he got that spidey sense that it was another dude in the house. And I said, "Oh Lord, now, Gary, you could tell that Gary is the type of dude that don't care." And so she was like, "Oh, that's just TV. The TV up loud. I'm watching the stories." Tamara. You work for Madam, and that's the lie that you come up with. Ma'am. I say, ma'am, now, you work for Madam, and you come up with that lie? So they get off the phone or whatever. And she was like, this what got me. She gonna say, "Gary, have some respect." Respect? You about to smash a dude in you and your husband's house, and not just any dude, his homeboy at that. And you talking about have some respect. Not to mention, y'all, she done caught feelings for Gary. She done caught feelings for Gary because she called him later on in the episode. She calls him up and he said, "Well, hold on. You catching feelings?" And she was like, "No, I ain't catching feelings. You the one catching feelings for me." He was like, "Why you think I'm catching feelings with you?" Because we do what we do. That's what we do. I do that to everybody. Have you seen my lineup? You are nothing in comparison to that. And so they get out the phone or whatever, and it pisses her off and it gets her in her feelings. And she was like, "Child, one edit." And she makes this comment. She goes, "One edit and I can destroy you. I can destroy you, Gary." So that happens. And I wanted to make sure I do that. And if I'm honest, y'all, I wanted to make sure I come on here and say that. If I'm honest, y'all, This is a storyline I want more of. I want more of Gary, Hayden, and Tamara, because I want to see what the writer's gonna do with this. This is more steamy than what we've been seeing with Zach, Fatima, Karen, and Aaron. We already know that Fatima ain't gonna leave, and if she do, whatever, cool. I'd be glad if she left. Okay. And we already know that Karen still loves Zach. Cool, whatever. We already know Aaron is in love, or if I'm honest, I'd love to see Aaron with another woman with that storyline. I don't care about that storyline. We already knew it was a possibility that the babies, that the babies was going to either be for Zach or Aaron, or shoot, both. I don't care about that. But this Gary, Hayden, and Tamara storyline, I'm trying to figure out what she going to do to him, because she going to do something. So, let me know what y'all think in the comments about that storyline too, because this is getting juicy and I love to see it. But I love y'all. Let's talk about it in the comments, because I am curious to see what y'all think. And I love y'all.